See, mine doesn't do that. If I'm not recording, I don't even get the. What do they call that thing? Is it a sonogram? I don't know what they call it.
I'm doing this thing. I don't know.
I don't know why it's that. Definitely not a sonogram.
Seismograph. The sound meter.
Yeah. Let's get a second sync in here before I forget.
Before it all falls apart.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That must be Jeremiah. Put them shoes on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to... just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is November 24th, 2024, and this is episode 731. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This week we're going to discuss a thrilling 1-3 week of Pacers basketball. Recency bias is in effect for sure. Joining me this week are two of our three analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks into crappy jingles. It's John Biomass Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for you guys.
Yeah, same here. And from Tacoma, Washington out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Yeah, shout out you guys. Shout out the doctor, who we are missing this week, but is in Naptown. Shouting out all you guys. Hopefully you guys have a super great week. I'm jealous that I am not there with you.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Turkey time.
We'll be missing you, and yeah, hanging out with the respective fams and each other. But you know, if you want to make a last minute red eye to Indy, you know, you can sleep on Colson's couch.
It was nice of you to volunteer my parents' house.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can stay here too, but
yeah.
You heard my boy earlier. Just a little cranky.
Yeah.
Past 8:30.
My parents don't usually cry after 8:30.
Yeah.
Before is
their cutoff is they get quiet.
All right, I get it. Well, before we get into the show, we'd like to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest-running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables and support us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks, everybody who's doing that. You get access to our Slack, get to hang out and commiserate and celebrate, mostly commiserate, the Pacers season, chatting about not mostly this, but all sorts of other stuff too. I think a fair amount of activity this week with the goings on. We're missing Jason this week, as you've mentioned too.
Jeremiah Johnson was interviewing Halliburton after the game today, this Wizards victory, and he was asking whether this win was going to be the momentum we needed to turn our season around. And I'm like,
did Halliburton slap him?
Yeah, it's like,
it looked like he wanted to, which is not in his nature.
We barely beat the Wizards at our house. Like, I don't think this is the momentum shift that we were looking for. I mean, I'll take a win, you know? It's better than a loss, but I'm not sure this is...
Yeah. Yeah.
If any If there was a time for a dueling glove in 2024, this was it, right?
A dub is a
All right.
dub.
That's right.
Dub is a dub.
And, against
Jeremiah.
the dubs, it's triple dub.
That's right. That's where it comes from.
Dub, 3 men in a tub.
Now we play 5-on-5 tonight.
All right, guys. As I predicted, we go 1-3 for the week. Not quite how I predicted.
Close.
It was the worst version, or a worse version of a 1-3 week. But Pacers took on 4 teams. Hang on a second. Is it an active meltdown?
It's not Colson this time. I'm proud
No.
that he's powering through it.
And you'll win cat or baby, I assume, on this one.
Oh, I missed that game. Cat
Yeah.
or baby.
The first of the 4 games, Monday, November 18th. Pacers travel to Toronto, take on the Raptors, and they lose 119 to 130.
Oh, God.
Toronto's not good, and yeah, they were at home, but we lost to 39 from R.J. Barrett and 30 from Jakob Poeltl.
Turtle the turtle.
Napper had
he-
28. He was good.
Jakob Poeltl looked like Moses Malone out there.
Yeah.
Somebody always has
And-
it circled, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, Miles Turner also missed from injury, so he was another one to just add on to the pile of injured Pacers. Wednesday, November 20th, Pacers travel down to Houston. And guess what? Hey, we're consistent. We gave up 130 again. But this time we only posted 113 and lost this one wire to wire. I don't know. I guess everybody was circling us this game. It was Jabari Smith with 23, Sengun 31, and we were stopping nobody and not doing much. But we did see the debut of Moses Brown, who
Hey.
we'll see more of this week. And I guess I do want to shout out to Quentin Jackson, who started this game and dropped 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks excellent.
I think he looked great.
Yeah.
This is like the game of his career.
10 and
he was
12.
fantastic. Yeah. But the other players, less good. Friday, November 22nd, Pacers traveled to Milwaukee for the number 2 NBA Cup game against our rivals, the Milwaukee Bucks, and they lose this one 117 to 128.
We're improving.
We got we held them to 1 fewer point. This game was rough. They got kicked in the mouth early, and they would come back to arm's length, and then Milwaukee would, Giannis would, I don't know.
This game
Giannis
was
would just say
legitimately hard to watch.
It really was.
It was very difficult.
We're not going to talk about this anymore after your wrap up. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. It was. And game of the week, Sunday, November 24th, back in the friendly confines of Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Thank God.
Pacers take on the 2-12 Washington Wizards. And guess what, baby? We're back.
Start a new winning streak.
That's right.
Woo.
We are on the board. Puts us to 7-10. We really struggled to build a good lead against this team, but we did eventually ice this one. And
we really do make teams look good, don't we? I mean, Quinn, it was just like, these guys have all improved from last year. These guys look pretty good. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we're making them look good.
I also like, seriously, he's like, this is a different team than we played last year. Yeah, it's full of guys you've never heard of.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, we had the starting lineup of, so this is, the state of the injuries that we've got right now, but we started Halliburton, Quentin Jackson, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and Turner back for this one. We got a Furphy sighting in this game. Moses Brown drops 15.
Heck yeah.
I guess the game for him, for the Pacers. And I think Toppin was like active and pretty good in this one. He got some boards, and T.J. McConnell. McConnell I think had a pretty good week, kind of just doing T.J. McConnell things. But this team was like the interviews with Halliburton particularly after the Milwaukee game. He looked just legitimately crushed. Like he's missing everything. He's not playing well. Clearly, he doesn't know what the problem is, and then you got to go answer questions from the media, which is their job. But
it's his job as the team leader to have to answer tough questions. Unfortunately.
Well, no, right? For sure. But he just looks. It was like kind of surprising.
It's easier last year when things are going really well for most of the year, right? It's been a tough year.
It's been a tough year, but at the end of this week, we still are sitting 7-10. We're still 8th in the Eastern Conference. It's early enough, we're not even 20 games in, so not even a quarter way through the season, and the East is wide open. We did not look good. I know we weren't going to talk about it. I guess we won't talk about it. The game that preceded the game against the Wizards was awful. It was just awful to watch. We could not stop anything.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. And I get that we're missing guys in particularly on the big side. And then anybody that we're going to pick up now is going to have a difficult time just throwing a guy that you picked up from the free agency is gonna maybe struggle against guarding Giannis.
Well, but Quentin Jackson and Moses Brown look like the two guys who want to be there right now. I mean, it was in that Wizards game. Like, I felt like maybe bringing this kid in is what this team needs, because they were all up and rooting for him when he was scoring points, and I feel like they're just, they're all just so sad and despondent most of the time. At least this week, It was just really hard. There was something for them to celebrate, and they got excited, and they looked like they were almost having fun. So, I'm excited about Moses Brown.
Well, and finally some home cooking too, right? Like this team has played 10 games on the road. They're 2-8. It's been tough, and they've got to, this is the start of a 4-game homestand, which I know this team has been looking forward to. Never had more than a day off between games. This was definitely like a get right game, and whether it's enough to solve all of our ills, probably not. I mean, we've been decimated by injuries, and losing Ben Shepherd in the last game of last week did not help matters. I mean, it's weird to say, but our second year shooting guard is, our veteran on the floor. He's like our steady presence out there.
Right?
It was a big loss. But, just coming home, getting a relatively easy game where no one had to overachieve to get the job done, holding somebody, under 129. We ended the week on a high note, and that's at least something, right?
Yeah. Furphy sightings all week.
Well, Furphy's just getting minutes now. He's a rotation player.
It's just wild. He had like 5 points and was active. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's had at least 8 minutes. He played 21 minutes against the Rockets. He's had, at least 8 minutes against every team, I think. 14 against the Bucks. Like, he's out there.
Yeah. He's hustling. He cuts well, and he can hit the three. So
yeah,
he hit his third one of his career tonight. So
he's also responsible for one of my favorite Buckner calls of the year so far. Oh, he had the right idea, but forgot to bring the ball with him. Yep.
It is a good call. Come on, Furphy. Maybe we could call that a Furphy.
It's
I'm
sure
if you play basketball without the
that from us. When you make a great move without the ball.
Without the basketball.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, actually, one thing we did not mention at the top, it's a holiday week, so we'll just do one show, unless you got some gold in the archives, then we're just gonna do one show this week. So the format, it'll be a little bit different, but yeah, we're still in the.
You seem sad that we have to talk more.
No, I'm
like, God, this
putting stuff trying to put stuff.
It's not me.
Frame things.
It's you.
Right. I was just trying to frame things, so we've. But what I was getting at before was like, we've played poorly. The games can be hard to watch, and we're still. If the playoffs started today, we end up being the play-in game. And so, like, we have a good team. Like, we have good guys on paper. So it's not like we don't have the pieces. So it's a good thing. They have a long time to come around, and hopefully they will go through this and learn how to overcome these bumps in the road. Grow from these. Because I think that Halliburton went from fun to watch prospect to all NBA caliber, and that changes the way teams prepare for you, and it's a back and forth, and some of these players we've seen over the years, they have diverse games, so if one part of it's not working, then you could rely on another part. If your outshot shot isn't falling, then you can do things. And that's one thing that I've been to pile on to Halliburton. It was also like the other parts of his game weren't making up for the fact that sometimes towards the end of last season he wasn't scoring as much, but he was just like. He would have an ungodly amount of assists, and you're like, well,
17 assists. Fine. You're like, well,
right, like,
okay,
fine, I'll live with that, But he's not doing that either. He had these crazy games last year where he was, 17 assists, no turnovers, maybe 15 points or something like that, and I'll take that every day. But that's just not been happening, and so. Even the Washington game today, there was one really early in the game, but he gets this like floater from 6 feet, I don't know, and like, off the back of the rim, and you're like, oh Jesus.
We missed a bunch of chippies early. I was real concerned early in that Wizards game. But
so
ultimately, coming down the stretch, he sees a few threes go down. Like he hits.
He had a huge
shots.
third quarter.
Yeah, he had a big third quarter. Team had a good third quarter. We had our first 30-point third quarter in like 9 games or something we used to just be a 30-point a quarter team.
Yeah.
Like that used to be what we were. There's been 9 games since we got one in the first quarter. Like, coming out, setting the pace, and then coming out of the locker room and having Halliburton just hit a couple step backs with confidence, really helps this squad. Benedict Mathurin was another bright spot again this week.
Yeah.
He's just destroying teams. As a team, our assists are down, and that's something that we need to continue to work on. I will say that Jarris Walker has become quite the connector. He was the assist guy to a couple big Siakam threes, or a connector in those. Siakam's like our best 3-point shooter right now. Guys just kill it. Jeez,
That ain't right.
I'm loving it.
He hit one to I'd say put the game out of reach against the Wizards. Siakam did. There was some doubt going into the last couple minutes if we were going to be able to come out ahead, and they did. But I think Siakam has been, he's one of those guys. I think that he's a vet, and he knows, his game. I think reacts well to when there's obstacles, and he can shoot from the outside, or he can get herky jerky in the lane and do Siakam things. And he does, he gets boards too, and he's a fine passer and fine rebounder. He does a little bit of everything. But unfortunately, that some of those things aren't really the focus of Halliburton's game. But you can, as we've seen Mathurin do, like a lot of times you can change those. You can add those to your game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit last week about what's wrong and how do we fix this, whatnot, and on some level it is Halliburton playing better. He solves a lot of problems, and the other guys are doing their jobs, and we just I know we're down some guys. We've got a lot of injuries, but again, our best guys are healthy, Siakam and Halliburton, and he's just not been a star, talking about not getting 17 assists. I mean, yeah, he's not scoring either. He can't hit anything. We don't get easy baskets anymore. I mean, one of the reasons we used to beat teams last year is we got easy buckets, because it's not like we were locking anybody down defensively, and we're still not. So, I don't know. Without him creating easy baskets for us, I feel like we just struggle.
It's hard. One of the turning points in this Wizards game was in the third quarter. We got 4 turnovers in a row, right? And we get out.
Right.
And, get some easy shots. Dunk. Halliburton hits a 3 in transition. It's been a huge part of our game. But teams are just way more dialed into, the pace, and Halliburton in particular. Right? Like, they know what we're doing, and not having a great supporting cast makes it tough, right? That means more minutes to force Halliburton to push the pace. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation for the team to be in.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't feel like you're playing your best ball. I mean, it's early. There's plenty of room for improvement, but there's also plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, well, and Nesmith and Mahard work real hard to stay moving and play off the ball. It will be nice to get them back, and that will be sooner rather than later at this point, right? December is not getting here fast enough.
Yeah. So Isaiah Jackson and Wiseman look to be out this year. May come back very late, potentially. Nesmith, last update we got, is out until at least December, and Nembhard, at least 2 weeks as of November 10th, and that is now. So we may get Nembhard back. Ben Shepherd, however, will miss multiple weeks with his oblique
multiple
strain.
weeks.
So that is not good news.
That is not good news. We get to play the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, and you'd like to say we could beat up on the Pistons, but I'm not sure anymore. They have a better record than us.
I mean, fair enough. And then those 3 home games, though, and then we get at Memphis on Sunday.
Okay. What do you think, Joe?
Well, Jason and I are going to be in the house Monday night.
So that's a done.
Okay. Right.
Plus Zion's out. Forever, I think.
Forever?
He's just not feeling basketball. He's not feeling it.
He's not really into it.
He's not feeling it. He's on a Kawhi program right now.
Well, that means Brendan Ingram's going to have 45, right? Because we just love giving up points to people.
So we just got to hold, the rest of their team to under 129, and we should be good.
So next week we got New Orleans, Portland, Detroit, and on Sunday, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm. The Pistons game is the NBA Cup group stage.
I think we're toast, right? We're already out. I would assume, right?
I mean, pretty much mathematically, but I mean, you can. If we win the next 2 games, what happens? We're tied with everybody else with 2 wins.
Well, but I think I don't know. Well, I forget. It was the winner of each group, and then there was a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 others.
Yeah.
Not every second place team, but some of the second place teams, I think, got in, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the tiebreaker was either
it was point spread, yeah,
or point differential.
Yeah. So that's not good for us.
Yeah. Oh, and big news, by the way, Cleveland lost a game.
That is big news.
They have dropped to 16-1.
Dude, so shameful.
Right?
How did they look themselves in the mirror?
They lost by 3 points to Boston.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say, too, that Wizard team played Boston tough on Friday, so there's that, too.
I mean, it's not that they're a bad group of guys.
You're just bad at basketball.
They're just not. Any given night, anything can happen. But on the long haul, Boston should beat them basically every time.
Yeah.
And they should give us a run for our money apparently every time.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got, I guess the two guys that we didn't expect to see too much out of this season, Quentin Jackson and Moses Brown?
Moses Brown.
Have been pleasant surprises. What have you guys thought about their showing so far? Have they earned a roster spot?
I mean, yeah. we got 12 guys, right? That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
No, I think Brown brings energy, and Quentin Jackson's been playing his butt off. He has a nice Euro step. His hands are up. He's getting deflections. I like the kid. When everybody comes back healthy, is he still gonna be a big part of the rotation? I don't think so. But I mean, he's earning some time on the court for sure. He'll probably soak up those Furphy minutes once everybody's back.
Maybe.
But we're going to need Brown all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we got sick of getting out rebounded, right? So we decided to pick up a 7-2 guy. And 4 rebounds in 12 minutes in that Wizards game, and we out rebounded somebody. Although at times it didn't feel like we would. But you need big bodies, and he's a big body. That has definitely made a difference.
Right, active on the glass.
Yep.
JaVale McGee's a big body.
He is a big body.
We didn't go after him because he's 45, I guess, at this point.
And
Moses Brown has been around for a little while. He's got 152 games in his career. He's just turned 25 years old. Wasn't able to make the Portland team, which is rough.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of big guys out there.
Well, I mean, anybody we were going to pick up didn't make a team, right? That's
fair enough.
By definition. And JaVale's like almost 36.
Yeah.
Who do you think that we're missing most right now, Colson? Like, of the, 4 names that are out, who's the guy that would help us out the most of this?
There's something. I mean, I my first instinct is Nembhard, just because to have the extra ball handler and the extra passing in that starting lineup, and this defense on the wing. But I think it's probably Naismith, right? I think he works his butt off and moves so well without the ball. He just kind of puts himself in the right spot. He's a really smart player, and I think he's kind of a glue guy that this unit doesn't have. This starting unit doesn't have right now.
Certainly missed him against Antetokounmpo.
I mean, yeah, Giannis does like to crush everyone, but
yeah, God, that guy's impossible to play. He just throws his body into you, and it's your fault, and you get a whistle.
It's your fault, and he's gonna probably dunk on you. That's just what he's gonna do. But Naismith likes to get under his skin and get right in there, and push him away from the basket and give him a hard time at least. That was one of the fun things about our budding rivalry. Not that anybody can stop Giannis, but I accept Thaddeus Young, right? He was the Giannis stopper.
That one time.
Do you agree with that or no? I mean, we need somebody to rebound.
Yeah,
I miss Isaiah Jackson.
100%. Like those are like my top 2 guys. Like increasingly, we're going to be missing Ben Shepherd, but with as well as Matherin's playing, it plugs that hole pretty well. There was definitely a point in that Wizards game when I was like, man, we just we need some energy off the bench, and that's when you're missing Isaiah Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
But spare thought too for James Wiseman, right? Like he needed an opportunity in this league to make some stuff happen, and having a team this decimated by injury would have been that chance. And it's just
right.
It's a crying shame that he wasn't able to be healthy during this stretch, because it could have gone a long way, to helping out.
Sure, putting his career back on track. He could be getting 20 minutes off the bench, but
yeah, he could effectively be a playing starter right now.
Yeah. It is too bad.
Yeah, the basketball gods are not happy with us this year.
Mm-mm. Really, we just need defense and rebounding and better ball movement. And, I think that, Nembhard and Naismith do those things for us.
Yep. Nembhard, I think, we really are an offense first team, and the lack of assists has just been crushing for us. When we're playing well, the ball's popping. We just haven't been as effective at that this season. So getting Nembhard back is going to make a difference immediately.
Mathurin has been fantastic, but, the ball doesn't pop as much when he's on the floor. But, I mean, he's still doing great stuff for us. If he wasn't there, where would we be? You know, I mean, he's been effectively our best player. I mean, maybe you could say Siakam's more consistent, you know, but Matherin's been fantastic. We could be even more under 500 without him.
That's a fact.
What do you think, Joe? Who are you missing?
Yeah, I think it's probably, I'm gonna have to say probably Neesmith too. Yeah, there's just like a ferocity that's, you know, that he has, and yeah, I feel like the team know that they just play as they've internalized that they know that they cannot stop anybody on defense. And I don't think he has that in him. You know, he's going to do everything he can to, you know, to stop, you know, but I just feel like they just know that they're hosts. They know that it's like, hey, look, we're going to give up 130 tonight. On a good night, it's 129, you know, but you know, if their free throw defense is holding up, then yeah, we might win a track meet, but we just need something. We need some rebounding and some defense, and say like getting Moses and having Matherin rebound more, and I feel like Turner's done an okay job this year, but we just need rebounding from everywhere. Yeah, anybody can do it, and we've seen some good ones, and you know, Toppin's all right at it. Siakam is, you know,
fine at
as
it,
well.
Right? We just don't have anybody that just, you know, I mean, anybody healthy right now that is just goes after rebounds, except Matherin, I suppose.
Right, and he does. He goes after everything.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice if we could turn it into a track meet, right? Like, that's ultimately what we want, is to be able to turn it into a track meet. And that is about, you know, getting a rebound. But it's more about producing turnovers, right? It's about tip balls,
right.
And, you know, we've just got to do a better job of getting in the open court. It's not for lack of trying. I know they're trying, but you know, we really do need more opportunities, to easy shots, and get some people into the rhythm. 115 is enough to beat the Wizards, but you know, apparently 131 is our number based upon our current defense. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And if we're not scoring 131, we're not winning very many games.
We gotta be working. We gotta be out hustling these teams, and that definitely didn't happen in the game that shall not be named. You know, I'm not sure that it happened against, you know, Houston or the Raptors either. And those are, you know, as well as Houston have been playing, they are a beatable team. Like, they kind of beat you from everywhere, but they're not a perfect team. And you know, with where we're at right now, we needed that Raptors win.
I mean, they're not good.
Yeah, they're currently they're 3-12 after that game.
Yeah, we decided
currently
to give them
sitting
their
on
third win.
4-12. They're on a they're on a 2-game win streak.
We gave them all the confidence they needed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you can definitely build up some confidence when people don't play defense. I think it's
they've eclipsed the Wizards and the Sixers, who were 3-13.
Oh my god!
At least you're not a Philly fan, buddy.
That's true. It was really hard to watch this week. It really was. I know we've said that before, but that Raptors game, just so disheartening. Like, really, we can't beat the Raptors. Friggin' RJ Barrett looked like
you hate RJ
Kobe
Barrett
Bryant.
too.
I do. He looked like Kobe
RJ
Bryant
Barrett
out
is
there.
better than you think he is.
Just so mad.
I mean, 39 from the guy.
And you even said last week, Harper, that you'd be mad if, you know, Because Joey said, I won't be mad if as long as we win the cup game, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna be real mad if we lose to the Raptors and the Rockets, and there we did. We just went ahead and did that, and then we still lost the cup game.
But we did get the wins.
We got the whiz.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Sorta. This wasn't that convincing. I mean, look, Halliburton had a 14-point third quarter, and that's basically the difference in this game, right? Otherwise, it's kind of... we didn't really pull this one out until, I had to watch till the very end.
We held them to 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Okay. Or did they just miss shots?
I mean, tomato.
Is there...
Or
So
bric-a-brac?
I was looking... Is there what?
Bric-a-brac. I don't know.
Is there hope for this season? You said it's still early.
You can still tank if you wanna. There's plenty of time.
What's the kid's name? Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. Now I refuse to root for a team that has a Dookie on it, so I'm out on tanking just on principle.
What would happen if we drafted Cooper Flag? Would you just have to? We'd have to.
I'm a Caps
You
fan.
could be on the show, but you wouldn't talk about the Pacers.
Yeah, I'd just be talking about other random stuff.
Is that why you like football? Because there's no real Duke players, and
Yeah, there's so
in the
few
NFL.
Duke players.
Yeah. And that's why you stopped watching lacrosse, right?
Sure.
Dookies up and down. Is that what they're called?
Sure.
Dookies.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we need to discuss tanking, or I think before the Wizards game I would have entertained that. I did entertain that discussion, but we did win.
You sound like Jeremiah Johnson. Is this win gonna correct what's going on? No, we barely beat the Wizards at home. Like, it's not like we routed them.
This is totally different. I would never say that to Halliburton's face.
Liver-eating Johnson.
Goodness.
Yeah, I look. I have hope that something's gonna fix itself, but there's not. I mean, we're not gonna suddenly become a really good defensive team. The way we won games last year was scoring at will and doing a little bit, just enough defense to win games. And right now we're not playing just enough defense and we're not scoring at will. So it's just a bad combination with a lot of blowout losses against bad teams.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, playing historically great offensive basketball, which is what we were doing last year,
Yep.
is not something that you just throw a bunch of guys into the blender on and see what happens, right? I mean, it is about fine-tuning a machine. It is about fine-tuning a machine better than anyone has ever done it before in the history of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And losing a bunch of guys who you had on the same page and not having time off between games, to practice
To correct
this
any
stuff.
of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it makes it really hard. As the season goes on, as the season progresses, we'll get better naturally. And having some of these guys on the court now playing extended minutes is going to pay dividends then after we get Nesmith, after we get Nembhard back. And hopefully Ben Shepherd won't miss a ton of minutes. He really is, a big... That shooting that he brings is not nothing. He is a dangerous player out there. But I think that we'll get better every week once we get these guys back on the court. No, our defense is not going to be, top 10 when this season is over. But can it get back to where it was towards the end of last season, which was better than it was where it started last season? Yeah,
Right.
it can. And can our offense get back there? Well, that remains to be seen. Halliburton, is he a 25-12 guy with, 2 turnovers a game? Is he that guy?
I mean,
If so-
we paid him like he's that guy.
If so, yeah, we're going to murder some teams.
Yeah.
But he's got a way to get back there too. But having some targets out there, having a little bit better 3-point shooting is going to help him. Pascal's been steady, Nettie. But we don't have the cast out there. It's going to get better. And we're not tanking, so.
Yeah.
Even
And-
if we should be tanking, we're not going to do it. So.
And my memory is the last quarter of the season is pretty friendly. A lot of home games and stuff. I mean, you just got to hang in there with a really rocky. I mean, it's a tough start of the season because of all the road games, but these aren't like, it's not like we're playing Boston every night, Like, this is. I guess the East is slightly better than we thought, or I don't know. That's not true. There's more parity to the East than we thought. But outside of Cleveland and Boston, everybody's super beatable. They all have 7 wins, right? That's why we're in the 8th seed.
Yeah. I mean, we end up as it sits now in the lower half of strike the schedule so far. But we're also 5-2 at home, which is heartening. The Orlando Magic haven't lost at home yet. They are 8-0. That is a dangerous team this year, man.
And they're doing that without Banchero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They continue to win without him. They're on a 2-game win streak.
They beat us without him. But everybody beats us, so.
Right now. It's going to get better. It's been a tough
All right,
start,
all
but
right.
it's going to get better.
I'll remain optimistic. Probably not true.
It's still November, man. Most people haven't even started watching basketball yet.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We'll be we'll be in the house tomorrow night with the fam and get the little ones in the house watching some good ball. We'll hope.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll have a Boomer sighting. The last game I took my son to, Boomer often will take the rope up to the rafters, and he was real concerned. Like afterwards, he's like, "Where is he?" Until he saw him again, he was like looking around the hole until he showed back up. And
Boomer permanency. It's a
yeah,
major
Boomer
stage in all our
permanencies.
lives.
Yeah, no, it's for a lot of Hoosier kids, it's a checkpoint for in development. We can call this show Boomer Permanency, right?
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
Okay, good.
For you, I'll do it.
Oh, hey, I've got a stat of the week. We talk about giving up 130 like it's a bad thing, right? Well, there's been some uneven play in Indiana from in the girls' basketball. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but South Bend, Washington girls team.
What?
Big South Bend, Washington contingent here, apparently. They're a 4A team, and
Is that a leak?
they've been having trouble finding other teams their size because
Because there are no other 4A teams?
well, no, I think that they're the teams in their division. They're like a couple teams like shrank out of their division. Like, I think they don't have teams anymore, and I don't know. So they've been having trouble. And the coach was saying that they like to go play in other states. You know, some of these good teams out of state, but I guess he's saying that there's some sort of ranking system for when the team wants to, like when the players want to get like all, you know, like Miss Basketball or make all state or whatever. Playing out of state kind of hurts them. So he's like, well, I don't want to hurt their chances for this. So
does he have a lot of prospects that are supposed to make all basketball squads?
I mean, they're a good team.
Okay.
And they won their first game against Goshen.
Goshen. Shout out Goshen, Indiana.
Yeah. So the first game, they won 93 to 14.
Oh boy.
And let's see. And then they played the second game. Yeah, so their conference shrank from 12 to 8 schools. So they lost 4 people that they could have played. And then they played...
Goshen has to play them again?
No. So then they played West Gary Lighthouse and blanked them 100-0.
I'm sorry, what now?
100-0. This was a couple weeks ago, November 9th, so 2-3 weeks ago.
Dude, that's just mean.
And
is there a mercy rule?
And they said, like, the coach said, like, that they were going out there and they weren't trying to. They said there was mercy, and his quote is, "When I tell you we could have scored 300 points, we could have." He said, "I have 12 girls that I put through hell every single day in practice. I am not going to go tell them to go out there and play, go out there and not play the best of their capabilities. We didn't press, we didn't pressure them, we didn't do anything. We played half court, which is not our style. And I tell them to be hospitable, have sportsmanship."
It's a tough sell at 100 nil.
I mean,
could
can
have
you
scored
just like
300. It is not the definition of sportsmanship.
Also, can you just not guard anyone so the kids can get a layup?
Yeah, but he's been abusing these girls every day. It would be mean to tell them to let them score.
Okay.
Because what's the point of putting them through hell every day?
Exactly.
If you don't let them go run up the score against a tiny.
I mean, once it was like 50-0, you know, you were like, hey, we'll just stop shooting. Stop shooting the basketball, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna pass. We're just working on passing.
It's a lot of shot clock violations.
A lot of shot clock violations.
What was that school?
So South Bend, Washington.
Who did they beat though?
They beat West Gary Lighthouse.
As if living in Gary was not already bad enough.
You know, the storied lighthouses of Gary, Indiana. We often went up there in my youth. Check out all the beautiful lighthouses in Gary.
You wish. Anyway,
so was the stack too small?
Yeah, are these girls like 7 feet tall and everybody else is like they're playing is like 4 feet tall? Like what's going on?
Not showing up on Basketball Reference.
How is that possible? They couldn't even. I mean, the 93 to 14 was very impressive, but 100
but
to
the
0.
100 to 0 is not, is what you're saying.
It's just wild. It's just absolutely wild.
Yeah. So, it could be worse. We could be playing worse D than we are.
I think we probably couldn't beat this girls' team right now. I'm thinking.
Well, if they could score 300, then maybe we couldn't.
I mean,
Sounds
if
like
they
they
could
could've.
score 300, they could probably do it against our defense.
That's right.
Like a
And it sounds like
150.
they full court press, but they haven't pulled that out of the bag yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. They're so consistent. 33-0 the first quarter, 66-0 at halftime, 86-0 through 3.
We were talking about needing to put up 30-point quarters.
Yeah. Maybe we should be talking about blanking some quarters. Then we're in business.
Well, shout out Gary Lighthouse.
What do you say to your team, even after the first quarter, as a coach?
Like if I'm Gary Lighthouse coach,
Yeah. Also, I think that should be one of your pseudonyms, Gary Lighthouse. I like that for you.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I put in the bench maybe, see if they've got some energy.
That's the problem?
Clearly the kids aren't playing hard enough, you know?
I'm curious to know how deep that bench even goes.
I mean, you can't. I mean, that means they're not getting fouled. They're not going to the free throw line. They're not getting rebounds.
I mean,
There's
at some point,
nothing
the
happening.
rest were just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
But you think, yeah, just throw a couple
No one
of
went to
whistles
the
and
free
get
throw
them
line.
something on the board, right? Like, what were the refs doing?
Yeah, because, I mean, I've played a lot of soccer, and even in the professional sports, there is a sliding scale of fouls as the game goes on. And if you're, we've certainly I've had these discussions at soccer games, but it's like you're up or you're down by a lot. But it's like, they're not going to call that handball. You're up 6 goals. Like, it was an accident. You're winning. Nobody's going to call that for you, you know?
You don't need
And
free
you
points.
think there'd be a mercy whistle somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I can only hope that they were like 0 of 12 from the strike. I mean, I actually don't know if that makes it better or worse. But, like, they should have at least had the
They
opportunity.
missed all their free
Yeah,
shots. They're free for a reason. You're supposed to hit them. Yeah, okay. If I was the coach, I would start practicing my free throws. That's what I'd do. Also, I would just have the girls run into the other team and try to get fouled. But I would just
The old Antetokounmpo. Just run into him.
Just send Matherin. Matherin just is like, oh, crowd? Bet. Like,
I'd
I'm
go to
in.
a crowd. Yeah, or we could even go with like a James Harden, where you knock your head back as though you've been shot if you when you brush somebody, Yeah.
Now IHSAA is asking for video from the game. But they said they sent the whole video of the whole game. They said they don't know what the purpose of it was.
To figure out how a
Yes, it
team
is.
wins 100-0
Yeah.
for the purposes of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They threw a
okay.
shutout. That's amazing.
I see that. So the starters play the first 4 minutes of each quarter, then the reserves play the rest of the game.
So he wasn't playing his
Oh.
best people,
Well, he's
Oh,
got 12,
and-
12 people.
right?
And he said that during the game, the Washington players were giving advice to the other team. They were saying, hey...
They're like, oh, I can't go left.
Well, no, they were saying, like, hey...
Just guard my right hand.
The quote was, hey, you got a V-cut. Hey, you got to get open. So...
Why do you guard them at that point, though? If you're telling them how to get open, just let them be open.
Because if they don't... Well, yeah.
I mean, there's no better way to
don't know.
trash talk than tell them
like,
how best to
I
beat
was
you
like-
and then beat them anyway.
I would sit down on one end of the court and just let one of the players play 5-on-4, right? I'd just be like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You can handle this.
Well, hey, shout out to the Valparaiso Vikings, who only lost by 10%. 77-70 to the South Bend Washington Panthers.
Okay.
So
Okay.
That's way better.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not a W. But you got to feel good
They're-
about that.
They might be the second best, basketball team in the country. Who knows?
Well, that was my stat of the week.
That's incredible. We've
I've
had
got
a
some
lot of
other
incredible
incredible.
stats, Joe, but that's up there.
I saw that, and I thought it had to have been some crazy thing from like way back in the day or something. And nope, that was November 9th, 2024.
Do they have a shot clock?
I think they don't.
Okay.
But I think I read something that they're going to have one in like the next season, like 2025, 26, they're going to have one.
But it's not like they just like held onto the ball. They scored 100 points.
No. Well, but
Oh, my.
Maybe-
They actually lost to Lawrence Central
ooh,
yesterday.
okay.
Oh my.
But you would think as if there's no shot clock, then Gary Lighthouse would want to just hold the ball,
Right.
Like,
So they could just
So you
the game
lose-
could end.
so you can just lose by a smaller score. You're like, it's like the opposite of what. It's a prevent defense. It's a prevent offense, is what it is.
Offense.
You just want to stop the game from happening.
Staunch the bleeding.
Yes. You know you're not going to win, but you're going to lose by less.
Get them out of their rhythm by never letting them touch the basketball.
Yeah.
This is the Pacers' new plan, maybe.
Slowing down the game to a snail's pace.
Just
It's
Yeah.
in line with our personnel. What could possibly go wrong?
just shot clock violation over and over again.
Well, good luck, Lawrence North next Saturday.
Yeah. Little post Thanksgiving action. Well, team, anything else that you got going on that we need to get off your chest? Otherwise,
Gobble gobble, fool suckers.
That's right.
safe travels to everyone who is scooting around this time of year. Be safe out there. Make good choices. And, enjoy the time you get to spend with your loved ones. If you get to. If you want to. If you don't want to. You know what?
Enjoy that too.
It's a good time to stay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be doing the drumstick dash again this year. And I always walk it. We always just walk, but it's fun. It's you get to take over Broad Ripple Thursday morning, and you and I don't know 10, 20,000 of your closest friends, whatever. I don't know what number it is. There's a lot of people, and you have to chase a turkey around.
Is that what the drumstick? Is that what the drumstick dash is? That you're chasing a turkey? See, if I'd known this, I might have joined you.
There is a turkey mascot type person, and there's a race. The kids get to chase the turkey.
Okay.
And then
And whoever
there's like
catches it gets to eat it.
I don't think so. But then there's also and then for little kid, that's like for like younger kids, there's like a short race like that where they chase it, and then as for little kids, they've got, it's like, I don't even know if it's like 50 yards or 40 yards or something like that, where you race the turkey. And my son got to do it last year and came in last place. He was scared of the turkey for parts of
They're
it.
weird looking animals.
Yeah, they're pretty scary.
Yeah. But and I found out later that a guy I know was the person who dressed up as that turkey for several years.
Well, at least he didn't drop 100 points on your kid's head.
No. But he did look at the camera. He said, "Look, I showed mercy."
I couldn't go any slower. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And we will see everyone here quite soon. Until then, we're of course on social media. We're on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. There's also a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. And email. Shout out at theundebeatables.com is how you can message us there. And the website/store is where the merch is.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sick-Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party's over. Gary Lighthouse signing out.
I love it. You should get that tattoo this weekend.
A neck tattoo, maybe?
Of your own nickname. Your parents will be thrilled. Your parents will be thankful for that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, now it's between Gary Lighthouse signing out and Boomer Permanancy. It's just flip a coin, guys.
You make the call.
Oh, there was something else too. There was a couple right there that were great at the end. God, that is a crazy stat of the week.
Yeah, that's bonkers. Lighthouse College Prep Academy has 4 games this season. That's their only game so far. They don't have another. They've got one on Monday, as you listen to this show, and then not another game until January 21st. So yeah, they're not
a real basketball team.
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
I'm rooting for them now. I'm gonna check in on them. I want them to score a point.
I want them to whoop up on Calumet New Tech this week.
Go get them, girls.
Go get them.